Hello, James here. I want to do a segment on this. Finish doing up Michael Rapport and commentators, and I'm going to make my commentator and this other celebrity, Julie Marguerite, whatever her name is. But I'm going to play the video and I'll get back with my commentary.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the Professor, and this is the moment of truth. As has been the tradition of the black media for over 15 years now, the enemy doesn't take a holiday, and neither do we. In fact, while the enemy is busy sleeping off their pre-Thanksgiving hangover, or getting ready to go to whatever cavern they have dinner at, we're over here plotting. We're getting it in. You see, people who want to win make it a point to be working while their opponents are sleeping. And since you're part of the black media, this includes you too. Now, I know that a lot of you are getting ready to stuff your face with genetically modified products and watch the big game, but may I interrupt your holiday to remind you that our people still don't have their power back? And yes, I know a lot of you are traveling right now as you listen to this. You're going to go be with your families in time for Thanksgiving dinner. You want to make sure everyone's assembled for kickoff time. Some of you are probably listening to this at the airport or as you drive to your destination. Some of you are listening to this as you're preparing Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. This is not about being judgmental. I'm simply asking you to pay attention to what you're doing. People with their own minds who act and think for themselves also understand that a form of cultural genocide is to get the oppressed to prioritize other people's holy days and to have none of their own. Holidays are part of how a culture keeps the past alive, how it perpetuates itself. We don't need to wait for the white government to give us permission to gather our families together. If we were thinking and acting for ourselves, and if we had our own resource base, we would celebrate the days when we broke the enemy's back, throw it in their faces, and commemorate that. Now, you say you want to have a Nat Turner Day? I'm there for it. This is why at this time of year I make it a point to celebrate the birthdays and or passing of our heroes and sheroes. A holiday is supposed to be an act of self-validation. Dr. Joseph Ben Yakinen said, "Don't ask for a day, take a day." We have to establish and reinforce our traditions, because we do have them. I told you a few years back that the etymological root of the word tradition comes from the Latin tradere, which means to deliver, but also the word can mean to betray. So yes, contrary to popular belief, it matters what kind of traditions that you're partaking in. It matters what kind of traditions you're perpetuating. Oh, but I'm sure this is bringing you down, some of you. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not here to castigate anyone for taking this opportunity to spend some time with family. Quite the opposite. I want people to think, though, this is what happens when you don't have your own economy. You only get to take time off when those who control the economic purse strings give you their permission. They have the ability to hype their holidays to the sky and basically to suppress anything having to do with you. And they only give you permission to be with family if it's something that magnifies them. That's what these holidays like Thanksgiving mean to me, and I hope that that's also what it means to you, and even if it doesn't, I hope that one day that's what it comes to mean to you. That said, since today is just another Thursday as far as the black media is concerned, let's go ahead and get to the subject of this morning's briefing. Now, you know I don't like to discuss entertainment, not just because I don't watch much in the way of movies or television, but because entertainment is one of the subjects that a lot of black folks have trouble handling, but we're going to dive in anyway. I gotta say a few things about Michael Rapport. Come to think of it, it is rather ironic that we're talking about Rapport on this day in particular, because Thanksgiving does remind me a lot of his movies for some reason, though I'm not sure why. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, Rapport decided to post on social media that if Hamas had taken a bunch of black people hostage, then nobody would be saying ceasefire or negotiate. You know, every time somebody wants to make some asinine comparison, they always gotta drag us into it. They don't do it with Hispanics or Asians or white women or whatever. They always say black people. And these fraudulent comparisons are usually along the lines of, if such and such had happened to a black person, then folks would care about it. As if there's some sort of black privilege is what they're trying to say. Black women are disproportionately represented when it comes to missing women. Does anyone care? Black men are 7% of the population, but the vast majority of the wrongfully incarcerated. Does anyone care? Black people are overrepresented when it comes to being underemployed, undereducated, underhoused, you name it. Does anyone care? You go to LA or anywhere else in America, you see black people as the majority of the homeless. Does anyone care? These fraudulent comparisons are actually a way for anti-black racists to show their contempt because that's what it's meant to say. Black people are the main ones being murdered by the police. We're the majority of hate crimes victims in this country. And in the last few years, we were the main ones protesting, demonstrating. We even held a nationwide uprising. And then afterwards, Democrats passed a hate crime law for Asians, completely ignoring black people altogether. Gee, if only George Floyd had been black. If only Trayvon Martin had been black. If only Michael Brown had been black. If only the victims of the Mother Emanuel Church massacre had been black. Then people would care about it. Then there'd be some laws changed. Oh, wait. You know, if anyone has a right to be making any comparisons, it's us. Because at least the comparisons we make would be true. But I want you to understand, this is the well that Rapport draws from. And there's a lesson to be learned here. When people are nice to bigots, it always backfires. Black folks have got to make sure that we are extremely circumspect about who we let come around us. You see, some people try to say that you can't be a racist unless you use the N-word. But we know better. Some of the worst racists have been people who claim to be down with the black community. People who hang around us, especially when they got no reason to. Historically, the worst racists, the most venomous anti-black racists, have also yelled the loudest that they care about the black community. Oh, I know a lot of black folks. I'm good with them. Now, this is where black folks need to do a gut check on ourselves. You see, our problem is we keep letting these culture vultures like Rapport hang around us. We keep letting them sniff around like a stray dog, thinking that because they haven't bitten us yet that they're not going to. You see, like the scavenger he is, he's trying to get some crumbs off of our table. We keep letting these fools eat off of us, keep letting them hang around, and they use that as their means to try to give themselves some sort of phony legitimacy. Well, he's been spending over a decade now showing black people that palling around with these racists is not some victimless crime. Sooner or later, the Rapports show exactly what they were all along. Culture vultures always attack the people they're stealing food from. Now, a large part of the reason that Michael Rapport has felt like he could take these liberties against black people is because he claimed to have black friends, like, for example, Spike Lee. Rapport would run around using that fact as his little get out of jail free card. Now, before we go any further, yes, Spike Lee has occasionally said some weird stuff, but he's been on code far more than he's been off. In fact, Spike Lee and Rapport got into it heavy when Spike Lee spoke out about gentrification in Brooklyn, and you had Rapport, who isn't even part of the conversation, deciding he would throw in his 2 cents. He said Spike Lee doesn't live in Brooklyn, and if people saw how nice Spike Lee's apartment was, they wouldn't listen to him. He then went on to call Spike Lee a lousy filmmaker, never mind that Rapport has been in Lee's films and wasn't complaining then. And he also called Spike Lee a number of vulgar names. You can tell that this scrawny puke has been sitting on his anti-black venom for a while now, and he was just glad to be able to vent some of it. Predictably, Spike Lee fired back on this idiot, and this scrawny puke said that he's gonna see Spike Lee sooner or later. Manhattan's a small place. We're bound to run into each other sooner or later. Keep in mind, this was back in 2014. Does anybody remember that time when Rapport met Spike Lee and checked him? Me neither. Lee's made all kinds of movies since 2014, including Black Klansman and The Five Bloods. His movies are Oscar nominated. By any metric, Spike Lee is successful. Now, can anyone tell me what Rapport has done in the last 20 years? Because I can't think of anything at all. As black people, we have to be very careful who we let come around us. Rapport, Vlad, Bill Maher, anyone see a pattern forming yet? Yes, they do all attend the same synagogue together, but I meant that they all owe what little relevance they have to black people. And they all have a track record of attacking black people too. Every time they want to complain about something or when they want to make some sort of ridiculous comparison, they always shoehorn us into it. Bill Maher has gone out of his way to mention a black person in every one of his shows, and it's never complimentary. You know, for a man who claims to not be too keen on religion, Bill Maher defends Israel as if he lived there. I guess nobody ever told him that that nation is a theocracy. People like Bill Maher and Rapport will chide black people about not being free thinkers, which for them means we don't give their racism a pass. And yet when it comes to Israel, Bill Maher and Rapport are the epitome of groupthink. But as with every other subject, for these clowns, the war in Israel only represents yet another flimsy pretense that they can use to attack black people, just another feeble smokescreen for them to hide behind. Well, black people are not getting involved. We are not Israelis. That's on the other side of the world. Let them handle handle their problems. If Israel wants to fight a war, let them. I told you about how black people have already played peacemaker in Israel before, and it didn't work out so well. So that being the case, we're staying out of it. And if Michael Rapport doesn't like that, tough. Black people haven't liked anything that idiot has said in at least 20 years. Michael Rapport does not have the respect of the black community. He has earned its contempt. And no amount of attacks and insults or feeble attempts at whataboutisms is going to change that even one iota. But we all know who the real audience for his attacks are. Just like Bill Maher, his real audience are these little white supremacists that he's hoping to try to pivot to, and he's going to try to reinvent himself as some sort of, I don't know, Stephen Chowderhead kind of comedian. Oh, he's going to be claiming I'm just telling like Bill Burr and the rest of these scumbags, all these little white supremacists who have tried to make a career, such as it is, out of attacking black people under the guise of humor. Well, I say let Rapport try to reinvent himself. Nobody's going to be fooled, and nobody's going to be laughing either. You know, I think I finally figured out why Rappaport's movie career reminds me so much of Thanksgiving Day now. They both have a bunch of turkeys. Good day.
Welcome to Racist of the Week, where ignorance gets the mocking that it well deserved.
Hold on. Sorry about that. I played it earlier.
Google Fi Wireless has flexible phone plans that keep your family safe and connected. There are plans for any budget, and you'll save even more when you...
Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim in this awesome Naya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, so kindly smash that subscribe button and turn your notification so you're notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm saying massive shout out to every one of you for the support, the love you all shower me here with. I am grateful, and you all are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about Michael, right? And who actually came out to call black people, women of color out. Black woman was also there. Why was he calling them out? Because they are against what is going on in Israel, and they are actually calling people out and calling Israel out to cease fire from what they are doing. I mean, the genocide they are committing. And this man thought it was okay to come out, to start calling them out and start saying that they're anti-Semitic and saying so many racist things to do. I mean, so many things to say about them. And people were like, who were the ones that gave you this platform? Because you came at Trump and the Republicans. We gave you the views, we gave you the like, we gave you a platform, and now you want to use that same platform to call people out over something they are doing that is good. And why is he even calling them out when they are doing the right thing? They are calling out Israel and the people in support of them to cease fire over what they are doing to Israel and Gaza. I mean, killing innocent kids. Why do people think, I mean, it is okay to sit down and watch a whole genocide happen on people? And then not because you are after this, you are after that, you do not want to talk. See, like I keep saying, I will keep saying it. It only takes a human to speak up when something is going wrong, when you see people dying, kids, children are dying, and you think you want to sit back in your own distance and relax and watch all this play when people, black people and other women of color are coming out to say this is not supposed to be happening. And you think it's okay to be racist to them. Let's get into this video.
Just like you could criticize and not agree with the Israeli government and it doesn't make you anti-Jewish or anti-Semitic, I can criticize people in the Democratic Party and it doesn't make me anti-Democratic Party. Not that I'm a Democrat. Don't get it twisted. I ain't a fucking Democrat. I ain't a Republican. I don't like any of you. I don't trust any of you. But AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, you fake news fucks, you're just as bad as Muppet Face Marjorie Taylor Greene, except I haven't come up with nicknames for you yet. Take down that fucking bullshit, you fucking Jew haters, you. You've always hated the Jews. It's been one of your agendas to perpetuate Jew hate. Take down your fucking fake news tweets. Rescind your fucking comments. Rescind your fucking fake news statements. You're in government, you motherfuckers. You're just as bad as Muppet Face, miserable Marjorie Taylor Greene. The squad, the biggest fucking squad of Jew haters the United States government has ever seen. Rescind those fucking statements, you fucking sick Jew haters, you. Talib, Elian Omar, you fake news.
This is why I say there's no fucking cookout. Because y'all like to extend invitations to people who at their very core are still very much a white person. Doesn't matter what type of marginalized community they belong to. They're always going to fall back on their whiteness. That's the default. You think that because this person can embrace hip-hop culture or black culture in a way, or even has a black spouse, whatever, that makes them family. It doesn't. Because this is white tactic 101. You are centering yourself solely here. You're making it about Jewish people. Nobody's attacking Judaism. Nobody's attacking Jewish people. People are standing against genocide. We're standing against the bombs being dropped on the Palestinians. That's what everybody's upset about. Nobody's talking about Jewish people or their religion. That has nothing to do with it. But to invade somebody else's land and try to evacuate, exterminate those people is wrong. And anybody who says that it isn't is also wrong. Like, I know that you get that, but you're in your feelings because you've always had the privilege of being able to do so. We're not gonna go for that. We're not falling for that. Black people, tighten up. The community is what it is. It's made up of us. Stop trying to extend welcomes and invitations to people who really don't belong in our community.
See Rashida Tlaib, Elian Omar, you fake news.
So this MFer right here, who at one point we found hilarious because he went after Trump and he went after the Republican Party, and we were in a lockdown and we were bored as hell, so we gave him a bunch of views and a bunch of likes, and now he thinks he still has a hall pass to go after 3 women of color who are calling for a ceasefire so that more children don't have to die, and he thinks that it's okay for him to get on this app and behave this fucking way. Let me tell you something, Michael. I have been to your comment section. I have read the kind of stuff that your followers are telling you. They're not fucking happy. And for somebody who mainly makes a living off of this app, I suggest, sir, you take several fucking seats. Maybe your wife can tell you, oh, he has a black wife. Maybe your wife can tell you that this is no way to fucking behave. Don't think we don't see what you're doing, Michael.
Just like you could criticize and not agree with the Israeli government.
You know, sometimes we cannot be one-sided in a situation. When I look at my...
Give the gift of festive apparel from Chewy. From trend-setting designs to pet-approved fittings. We love getting your pets picture perfect because the whole family should look this good on the holiday card. Get great deals on gifts that deliver excitement at Chewy.
It's on.
You talk?
Just a little bit.
Leo?
Leo.
Gave me pink eye.
I'm sorry.
What is so special about this reptile?
You made me feel like I could do anything.
We're all just people. And lizards. Could you not do that on my pillow?
When I look at my race and I see the negativity that they do against each other, especially if one makes a public humiliation against another fellow black man to ruin and discredit him, I talk about it. When I see a woman who's basically deplaguing her husband so that she can make a storyline and to sell a book, I talk about it. When I talk about a woman who basically got into a situation where he's doing 10 years and meanwhile she's getting herself and transferring and doing a snapback, I talk about it. I also talk about how certain black women are degrading themselves and giving themselves and experiencing something called black culture. I talk about it. When he looks at his side of his side of ethnicity, he always tried to make it look like that they're innocent, and they're not. When you look at the history, you see all the stratiations and so all the fragments and all the missing pieces of the storyline of what they have done to many other people, especially in Palestine, especially in South Africa, especially in America. Okay, I can make a list, and the list is gonna be more than. It probably put me in community guideline, and it's probably gonna make me have to make a part 2 about this. There's a lot of things that the Jewish community have done to people of color, and even did it to people who are Muslims and who are Arabs. Now the Arabs, they have done stuff to us too, but we look at the storyline that we're in modern times now, and they're still doing apartheid. They're still doing segregation. They're still doing eviction. They're still stealing land from people and lying about it. And they still started this whole entire thing. And then meanwhile, it's the Palestinians are the ones who are in the midst of the crisis. Okay? And then they turn around and lie on top of lie. And then this news media and all the situations that come on into this social media platform, they're basically swearing to them and saying that the Hamas, come to find out the Hamas was an organization that was created by the Israelites. Alright? That was formed by the same people who pretending that it is the Arabs and the Muslims are the ones that caused the terrorism. Okay? When you look at it, both parties have done demolishing against one another. But when you look at it, you see one party, everybody has to be neutral. I'm looking at all the actors, comedians, and everybody talking about we should be ashamed of yourself. No, your people should be ashamed of us. How about a fellow man named Edward Bloom? Edward Bloom is a man that's against he's the one that stopped the affirmative action that was taking place to give minorities the right to go to Ivy League schools, get a job without restriction. And even for women's rights, he's not targeting the Caucasian women, but he's targeting our women, which is black women. The Fairness Fund, he turned around and took them to a civil court. And also took them to a court, which is a trial court, to put a halt on their foundation. So they can't try to provide and help fellow black women the opportunity to own businesses. And that was something like, why are you invading and going against a fellow black woman and her organization? And how is that discrimination when I see organizations of the Zionists helping out their people, even helping out their fellow women, and I see other minorities helping out each other, and I don't see them getting ridiculed against the campaign that Mr. Edward Bloom is. Mr. Edward Bloom is a Jewish. He's from a Jewish background. And then he's also a Zionist too. And this is not no fake news. There is a list of things that the Jewish community had done to the black community and to the Palestinians and to the Muslim. And you know the ironic thing about it is, if you look at the Muslim religion versus the Jewish religion, it's the same thing. The only difference is the language is different. The only difference is when you go to a Jewish temple, or better known as a mosque, they don't have glass, they don't have figures or anything like that. And they mostly go there for prayer, scriptures, and so forth. Now, when you go to a synagogue, I've never been to a synagogue before. Oh, yes, I did. I went there. It's the same teaching, the same stuff, Old Testaments. How about you like it if you're living in Palestine for nearly all your life and they tell you you can't worship Christianity? You cannot wear no symbols of cross. And these are the same thing that Adolf Hitler did to the Jewish community, and even did it to the fellow blacks when they formed the Holocaust. So I find him to be very ironic, standing there saying negative things and saying that we should pick a side and trying to be ironic, and then mentioning Kanye West. Kanye West noticed that people that was in your community was stealing from him, and he basically called it out. Okay? And this is not the first time it has been happening. Anytime when you guys do something, we have to look the opposite way. You know how many people been bamboozled from people from the Jewish community? And this is not hate. This is actual facts. We also been bamboozled from the Muslim community too. But for some reason, if you look at the population of the people that are in the Muslim community, they rather welcome our black people to
Switch to Google Fi Wireless today and use your data abroad at no extra cost on Unlimited Plus, our best unlimited plan. Get off the plane and go with international data.
But when we talk about what's going on in the Middle East, we have to be careful. If we're going to talk about or criticize those communities, we need to stick to stuff that we can point to here within the United States as well. And what I mean is that the arrogance from both of these communities that want to pull black people into a conversation or manipulate us into a conversation. The Palestinians, and somebody left a comment the other day making it seem as if the Palestinians are so destitute, so just abused. And I say, when they come to the United States, they don't live among us. The federal government helps them get established in this country. It's this myth that somebody came over the community, helped this one person. They to a degree they probably do that, but a lot of us we have known for years, and we see it to this day. And we see it right now going on with the immigrants thing, or the migrants, or I call them illegal because they snuck their ass over here. They demanded to come here, but these immigrants, these people will come over here illegally. You see how these cities, whether they want them or not, bend over backwards, give them government set-asides, but telling the black citizens that, we don't have nothing for you guys. Or we'll do a study. We should be pissed off that you got people come over here can't speak the language, but they know how to adapt to white supremacy. They know how to call you racial slurs. They know how to come to your community and push that poison that they wouldn't dare push in their community. Then after 5 years, they can sit back and say, we worked hard. They push these stories to their children, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren. We came to America with nothing, because I see a lot of these documentaries where they talk about how these cities are formed or these communities thrive. And they make it seem as if black people had nothing to do with this. They make it seem as only black folks live in one part of the country, and that was it. And we know that. We know blacks that was in the so-called northern cities. We know blacks that went over to Canada or went back to other parts of the globe. And we know that everybody wasn't brought to the United States as a slave. There were already people who looked like you and I here already. This is why black Americans are so hated, because they know our history. They know that we know our history, or people are learning our history. Remember how they made critical race theory, the boogeyman? Remember how they went after the 1619 Project? You don't dare talk about your pain. You don't dare talk about your history. And the very people who are claiming they're victims for their attack have been a part of our pain and suffering. Let me remind y'all, was that last year, the year before last, or was it last year? Time blurs now. Because so many things happen at a breakneck, I forgot you said it. At so speed, it's intense speed. Whoopi Goldberg was talking about, I guess somebody said something about Hitler or the Holocaust or something about Jewishness, and they said, Whoopi said, there were white people who hurt white people. And some of the Jewish people said, we're not white. And some people in the Jewish community said, we must not have that conversation about whiteness. Because all they gotta do is change their name, or don't openly practice or announce that they're Jewish. And this is why I can tell you how being Jewish is a religious belief, not an ethnicity, not a race. They didn't want to get in that debate. That's why they didn't go after Whoopi Goldberg too hard, because it'll open a can of worms. They don't want to go there. But it gives me that both groups are showing over in Palestine, they showed images of Freddie Gray. I'm not Freddie Gray. George Floyd, Malcolm X, and Dr. King, and Marcus Garvey. And I'm like, y'all go use black faces, because this is where y'all manipulate. So when y'all come to America or other parts of the globe, and y'all go to a black community to make a living, y'all desensitize our people. And once you get into the neighborhoods, you do your dirt. Or when you go to schools, you do your dirt. Or you get jobs, you do your dirt. And I'm not saying everybody does that. Because somebody left, there's only so many Palestinians here. First of all, I don't care what the number is, still they contribute to white supremacy. Just like Ukraine. When they started dropping bombs, Ukraine showed their racism. The media showed their racism last year. And we supposed to pretend that we didn't see what we see or know what we know. It's a reason why black folk don't want to get involved in this thing with the Jewish community and the Palestinians. Because what the Jewish community is doing right now, trying to shame us and blame us and accuse us of things that we ain't said or done. And they've been doing it for so long. This is why Michael Rapport feel he can say what he want to say. Amy Schumer and Bill Maher and a lot of black people said, you know what, y'all went too far. Y'all kept poking. I warned last year when they was going after Kyrie Irving, I said they're going to keep poking. And what they're going to do is going to start waking people up. Because, as I said before, people got access to computers now. People can go to the library. They can go to FedEx. Get on the internet. They got to pay, but they can go. And those who got the money to go buy a desktop, a laptop, or they use the damn cell phones. Now, does that mean that all the information you get is always concise or correct? No. But people got eyes and ears, they got experiences. For 13 years, I've been doing these commentaries, and I've been pointing out these different groups of people who claim to have suffered.
No extra cost on Unlimited Plus, our best unlimited plan. Get them.
We let them get away with. No group of people outside the black community globally have experienced what we've experienced. And I'm gonna say this: even our brothers and sisters from other parts of the globe haven't gone through what black Americans have gone through.
Jewish friends, my Jewish brothers and sisters, stand tall. Stand tall. Do not let this fear, this sadness, this anxiety, and this dread overwhelm you. Draw strength from your family, from your friends, from your ancestors, and the worldwide bond that we share that has always put the battery in your back. We're used to being looked at as different because that's what we are. We are different, and that's a good thing. I know that Jews are looked at as weak, but we're stronger than you can imagine. That's why you hurl propaganda up this wall that we control all the money, that we control all the money, that we control all the money.
I mean, anti-Semitic statements are never good for anybody, right? It's kind of like being anti-black.
But, it's really interesting. I didn't realize that I could be considered anti-Semitic until I read one of the definitions of anti-Semitism. Look at this. The definition says, making mendacious, demonizing, or stereotypical allegations about Jews as such, or the power of Jews as a collective, such as, especially, but not exclusively. This sounds like a unethical matter. Alright, so it says, think about it, that sounds like the type of wording that's in the contracts, right? Okay, it says, such as, especially, but not exclusively, the myth about a world Jewish conspiracy or of Jews controlling the media, economy, government, or other societal institutions.
Isn't that what you said? That Jews run everything?
Yeah, but that actually is considered to be anti-Semitic.
Right.
So I didn't realize that it was anti-Semitic to say, hey, I have a Jewish attorney, I have a Jewish record label, I have a Jewish contractor, I have a...
Do you regret your statements?
What statements you think you should be walking back? I mean, considering...
What do you mean walking back?
Well, backing up off of them. I mean, the thing is, you've lost a lot of endorsements. People are dropping you. You're getting, vilified. I mean, you might think you're right, but I think, there's a whole world out there that's condemning you for what you said.
Okay, so this right here is a chart of Universal Studios, 20th Century Fox, ABC News, CBS News, Columbia Pictures, Warner Brothers, ESPN Sports, Fox News, Washington Post, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, MTV Music Television, Nickelodeon, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, Comedy Central, NBC Entertainment, Google, what else do we have? Disney, ABC Kids and Family, YouTube, Los Angeles Times, Discovery Network, Paramount Pictures, Facebook, Huffington Post, Yahoo, Marvel, Hulu, Cosmopolitan, Time, Touchstone, Associated Press, Pixar, Miramax, HBO, New York Post, LucasArts, MSNBC, DreamWorks Animation. Now the thing is, I skipped over maybe about 5 of them because it was just unclear on this list. The red are the executives that are Jewish at these companies.
Do you think they stuck together when they heard what you said? Was that what happened? Do you think they stuck together when they heard what you said? Was that what happened? Do you think they stuck together when they heard what you said? Was that what happened?
We control the media because it's plausible. It's plausible because we're just that good. Smart, compassionate, moral, and strong people. And we need to stand taller than ever against all those sick, dumb, uneducated black tar in their blood stuff who hate Jews because they ain't. You hate us because you ain't us. It's always been hurled our way. Hate, prejudice has always been hurled our way. And a lot of times we deal with it with compassion or the understanding that it might be mental illness, or the understanding that it might be mental illness, or the understanding that it might be mental illness.
Get ready to write your passive-aggressive, LeBron James, racist comments.
Cell phone footage of Kanye West's show in Sacramento on Saturday gives an idea of his recent behavior.
Get ready, because the show's over.
The rapper launched into a rant about the media and the music industry, then stormed off stage.
Define it for me. What is the mechanism that is malfunctioning or is taking a break in your brain? Do you know?
I wouldn't be able to explain that as much, just because I'm not a doctor. I can just tell you what I'm feeling at the time, and I feel a heightened connection with the universe when I'm ramping up. It is a health issue. This is like a sprained brain, like having a sprained ankle. And if someone has a sprained ankle, you're not gonna push on him more.
Right.
With us, once our brain gets to a point of spraining, people do everything to make it worse.
A lot of people applauding him for speaking out, saying that it could certainly help others. Did you understand what he was saying? You agree with what he's saying?
I am applauding him and every other celebrity that comes out and talks about their mental health illness.
Yeah.
Because this is a real struggle for so many Americans. 1 in 5 Americans, our husbands, our children, our friends are dealing with this. And many of them are suffering in silence. They're suffering with shame and guilt. They're suffering alone. And they're not getting the care and the treatment that they need.
And you can't see mental illness.
You cannot. And that's part of the issue, I think. It's not a tumor or a mass that you can see. It's not a plaque in a heart artery that I can show you. But the pain is real, and some have described the pain as being worse than the worst physical pain you can possibly imagine.
Donald Trump, he even said about Kanye West last week, yo, he's sick, he needs help. You know what level of whacked out of your tree you have to be, Kanye West, for Donald Trump to say he's sick, he needs help? You know how, like, that's a bottoming out point. I don't know if it's worse that you're never going to Paris Fashion Week again, Balenciaga dropped you, your agents dropped you, or just name Donald Trump saying, you, Kanye West, are sick, and you need help. You need to get on some cuckoo's nest. You need to get on some Jack Nicholson, Nurse Ratched, Chief. Won't flow over the cuckoo's nest. They're gonna hit you with the lobotomy, homie. They need to hit you with that won't flow over the cuckoo's nest. How they did my man Jack Nicholson and the Chief. That's what's next. That Balenciaga mouthpiece you were wearing a couple of weeks ago at Fashion Week before things went off the rails, you're gonna need that when they hit you. They hit you with them zaps that. That should be the next name of your next song, Kanye West, Zap Life. They're gonna hit you with this. You can sample those zaps. I'm sure you'll do something good with it. You're creative. You're a genius.
Hey, stop scrolling. I know you've seen some of my content, so why aren't you publishing on Amazon yet? This business model is full.
Those zaps. I'm sure you'll do something good with it. You're creative. You're a genius.
The thing about the red hat that drove me to a point of exhaustion, which was misdiagnosed by I'm not going to say what race, what people, doctor, and what hospital, and what media it went to. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor that diagnosed me of having a disorder that would have had me on medication right now. At a time like this, if I was on medication right now, then one pill could have been swapped out and it would be Michael Jackson and Prince all over again. But because I didn't take the misdiagnosis and I didn't take the medication, I'm able to speak to you guys clear of thought and transparently.
We control the media because it's plausible. It's plausible because we're just that good. Smart, compassionate, moral, and strong people. And we need to stand taller than ever against all those sick, dumb, uneducated black tar in their blood who hate Jews because they ain't. You hate us because you ain't us. It's always been hurled our way. Hate, prejudice has always been hurled our way. And a lot of times we deal with it with compassion or the understanding that it might be mental illness, or the understanding that it might be mental illness, or the understanding that it might be mental illness. Never again, you. Anyone saying to me, be on the right side of history, knowing what side I'm on, means you're on the wrong side of history. Which means you're on the side of terrorists, murderers, rapists who would burn and behead you and your family. They would love to burn and behead you and your family. There's only right or wrong right now. You either support a caring community or you support extremist exterminators. Never again. Never again. Never again.
I'm Jewish. My sister lives in Israel right now. And with everything happening, and even the fact that my sister is in danger, I'm slowly starting to realize that maybe Kanye was right. France banned any protest supporting Palestine. Germany did the same thing. And the United States, a country that's polarized and completely divided on almost any subject, is completely supported on both political sides of Israel, which is kind of scary because there is atrocities being done by Israel. You cannot deny that. And it's strange to me that celebrities, Hollywood, media, and our government is in complete support of Israel, and it feels like they have done nothing wrong. So when you have across the board unanimous support on something so polarizing, you have to think that there must be an agenda here. Because something like this shouldn't be supported all across the board. We live in a nation of freedom of speech, and we live in a nation where we share different ideologies. So why is it that all these branches support everything so unanimously? What Kanye is saying is possibly true and might be true, because what the media is pushing is completely different than what we see on TikTok. Talking to people who follow media, talking to people who are not on TikTok, they fully support Israel. Why do they fully support Israel? Because they're not getting the full scope of the news. And this is not the first time we see this. We see media being censored for an agenda. What is that agenda? I don't know. But I know that this is not okay, and what's happening is not okay. I'm not standing with any side. I'm not standing with terrorists. I'm not standing with a military state that's killing children. But I know an agenda is being pushed, and I see the agenda being pushed. It's in no way stereotyping Jewish people, and Israel is not an example of Jewish people. But there are elite Jewish people in media, and there are a lot of elite Jewish people in government who are swaying this perspective. And if the government wasn't swaying, people would hear more opinions from people in Palestine, the experiences and first world accounts of what's happening with people in Gaza. But we don't see that too much. We see different word choices of how Israel people die versus people die in Gaza and Palestinian people die. We even see what happening about displacement of human lives, of being pushed away from their homes, people that have been living there for decades. The Western world treats Hamas as a terrorist organization that needs to be taken down, and they do. They're a terrorist organization that kills children, that kills innocent people, and causes atrocities. But guess what? Israel is a country that's military recognized by the United Nations, that's sponsored and supported by the United States, by Western world, and they're doing exactly the same thing. They're causing world crimes, displacing human beings, taking away their homes, taking away their land, and just bombarding the hell out of children and civilians, innocent people. But we don't view them like that because we're swaying a perspective, we're swaying an opinion that we don't want Americans to see. We want to push an agenda. Whatever your opinion is, at the end of the day, do not trust government at 100%. Do not trust the media at 100%, because multiple times they've been presented to show that they don't care about the people, and they manipulate. They go into countries and they manipulate, they cause coups for their own agenda, for their own lining their pockets. This has been proven. This has been seen countless times. This is the situation that might happen again. So just understand that perspective before making an opinion about what's going on across the world.
The entire Bible is about black people. Not only was Jesus black, but every character in the Bible seems to be black too. Yeah, Zephaniah and Jeremiah and Jebediah, those all aren't white people names, okay? And Jesus wasn't some tan, partially melanated Middle Eastern person either. I'm talking straight up black dude, okay? Even in the book of Revelation, when you get the vision of Daniel, he's describing someone with feet like burnt brass and white woolly hair, and we've got the deep running water voice with the red eyes, and you guys, he's black. The Jewish people are black people. Like Kanye was right. Kanye was right. Kanye was right.
What's your thoughts? Please be respectful with your comments. Also, please click the like, click the notification.
Shout out to Lee Woke for bringing an introduction. But yeah, there you have it right there, and the truth is coming out. And I do believe that some governments do that to cause rift and things like that. And this is what they don't want to do, so they want to cover up it. And it's always something like that. Even your mainstream media is showing what they told and write the narrative. And then they edit and they cut it and they put what we see on our American television. But you got to go over the internet and find out something from some news station. What's the other side? What's really going on? And that's the truth, because they're trying to control the narrative. But as long as we have to have internet to have access for our daily lives and daily businesses and things. So, hey, when they gave us the internet years ago, 30 years ago, they didn't think that it was going to be like this. There's things like this you would never see. You would just hear about radio and TV. but now you can see it in action live. But let me get back on Michael Rapport. Michael Rapport, if I had to say this to him, why is it that you feel, why did you come around black people? I'm just saying, if you felt that way about black people, and I keep asking myself, people like him, why do y'all come around black people? Why do you come around Ice Cube, Spike Lee, and different individuals, and say the things that you said? And if it wasn't for them, what about those other directors out there that are from your community that put you in their films? Why is that, Michael Rapport? Why you would be still working right now if it would? You mean out of all, but you come to the black community and then you got nerve to say what you got to say. But it was Ice Cube and Spike Lee was the one who put you in your film. No one wanted even heard of you. And that says funny, you stick up for the same. They wouldn't heard of them. Think about it. If Hollywood have all these Jewish directors, why is Michael Rapport the name? In New York, in Hollywood, and that's not being anti-Semitic. It's a fact. There are well-known Jewish representation that own the companies broadcasting the film industry out there. Why did they put Rapport in it? Why do they always have to come around since they're so intellectual? These individuals so intellectually. I'm just curious. He's a B-rated actor. I mean, it's amazing. Like, and Professor Black Truth is right. There's a culture vulture. They can't do anything on their own. They got to come around black people. The very people that some of your people in the community say that black people are not too intelligent. Black people are not to this and not to that. Why, if you have this low opinion about black people, why do you come around us? I just can never figure out why would I be around people who and really practically kiss their butt and put on the front and the face like I'm their friend. This is why we calling it out. And this is why, and why should black people be involved when you didn't said this the whole time that we're not intelligent? You compared us to animals. You say that we lack all kinds of different skills, and that you practically need this. Then you have that we need you. I mean, it's like black people don't need you when they have their own talent. But it seems like it's almost like some of y'all have the slave mindset, so that you have to control a slave. That's the truth. But why couldn't but people like him, why couldn't they crap it on your own? Why is it why they gotta come among black people? But they don't think highly of black people. I never could figure these people out. Why do you come around people who you think and do you don't think that they're not gonna pick up that you have some kind of complex, you think you got some superior attitude kind of complex? And I hope that Ice Cube and Spike Lee and other people, and I hope they don't ever go around you again. I hope other black people. I think what we should do, like other communities should do, when you see people like Michael Rapport, you just gotta distance yourself away from him. Cut your association off. Cut small talk with him. Don't hang out with him or nothing. And that don't mean something because they want to bring like, well, I got a black girlfriend, black wife. So what? You probably say N-words in your own household. That don't mean nothing. some of the most racist people that can be married to somebody of another race. That's the fact. So, why do you? My question is, what is with these people? Most black people ain't even on your that I've seen on social media, news. Maybe comment about things that's not even about what's going on. It's a celebrity or something. It's a black celebrity, but it's always people like Michael Rapport that always come out of the blue and gotta say something crazy. Black people is minding their own business, and it's like, damn, ain't messing with them, ain't saying that, don't even make eye contact with them. Black people have not said anything, but you got somebody. I mean, it's a sick obsession. It's sick, like that to be that doggone prejudiced at somebody that don't have nothing to do with you. And apparently you must not have a good personality because either other white people don't want to be around you. But you got to take a snag at somebody and always, either they're black or some other people, or they're Muslim or they're Hispanic or something like that. Like really, like go get a life. But I'm people like him. Yeah, they are culture vultures. They come around and some was they see it come. Hey, what's up with you guys? They try to learn your lingo and learn your slang, and they don't care if they look like a fool among their own people. I'm just trying to get it with the brothers, you know what I'm saying? But you like they say, you see their real side come up out of them. He's a pathetic human being. He's pathetic, and so is that Margaret Lee's woman. They're just pathetic. And if black people can do black people ain't obligated to do nothing, but you've been telling us to get back online and tell you, y'all just mind your own business. Well, black people mind their own business. Cause and believe that we don't have a brain of our own and saying these crazy stuff. Don't have no opinion. I mean, and it's the most offensive, crazy thing. Like that's going to sway black people to turn around and be for the other side. Black people have barely said over, this ain't our fight. This is not our fight. This is between you and the Palestinians and the Arab brothers. That's your fight. We're out of it. It's the truth. The Hispanics ain't got nothing to do with it. Other people, the Indians ain't got nothing to do with it. The Asians ain't got. It's between you and them. But we all, feel the pain of the children and the elderly people. But to pick a side, no. What the Hamas are doing or the Zionist state of Israel are doing is wrong on both ends. It's wrong. And having a mindset, you're really revealing it. But as you do to us, so come the Zionist celebrities and these Zionist companies, they get reaping what they sow. Because guess what? They've been sanctioned. All these countries are about to sanction you. So you roll that anti-Semitism a little bit too much. Now what? It's a stir up. Right now, it's over countries. And I'm telling you, it's going to be products made at Israel. It's going to get boycotted. And it's going to boycott, because it's going to boycott over in Israel. It's going to boycott it. It's going to affect America and parts of Europe. So keep putting your mouth on us. We ain't got nothing to do with that. You open up your own mouth. And arrogant people who had that, we own the thing. Okay, Mr. Tough Guy, that God is up under your foot. Watch what's going to happen. Watch. Your kingdom is crumbled. You are the Gentiles that book speak about. is in Israel right now. You get trodden down. And he took the identity of the people. And now people are finding out the truth. Truth is truth. Can't make it what you want to do no more. But yeah, ain't that something? But I guess he's one people that like what is all the smoke? What do we gotta do with that? And it was only a few Jewish people. It's not like every Jewish person was in the civil rights either. It was only a few individuals that did that. It was a handful of people that come out of the Jewish religion. A handful of people. And some did it for the right reason. Some did it because they want to be next. They know this is they want for their own reasons. Like anybody, they try to capitalize off of something. When something spark off and get hyped up, they want to capitalize off of it. Some people are like that. That's just some people's nature. When it's something big news, national, and during the time with civil rights and everything, because I heard somebody say that some Jewish people had a good heart to do the right thing, and some didn't. Some had their own agenda. Some did the right thing, and some didn't do the right thing. That's a fact. That's a fact. So, yeah. And not only that they did do the right thing, they tried to, some of them tried to control our organizations. And select individuals that the black community wanted. Yeah, this is what they've done. They played a certain role in that too. Certain individuals that played a role with the Urban League and all these other organizations, they're backed up by them. And then, you know about the Civil War, right? Check out Bishop Larry Gathers. Go on his page and he'll show you. Tell about Judah Benjamin, the one who was of Jewish descent that created the Confederate flag. Not only that, I found out he did create the Confederate that had Jewish lineage, and it was the history with that. Also, did you know this? That it was, believe it or not, there was a design behind the KKK. They designed it. It wasn't white people. But the person had Jewish lineage who designed it. So get the black and white people fighting against each other. This is all online. But you see how, and you see, and see, what makes it so bad is that why some people attack the people who have the last name of the Jewish name, whatever, and they find that they're Jewish, is because of what history has shown in Europe and everything. And even famous, he showed what Woodrow Wilson, Henry Ford, them said about Jewish people. What their capability of doing. And they were. It's not like they were for Hitler or nothing like that. This what their encounters was. Henry Ford. Look it up. What he said about it. So all this stuff is come to pass. What they're doing. Now what they've done. Some of these people, what they've done. And it's making people who are not like that, who don't conduct business like that, who could be Jewish, do the right thing. But the Zionists is making it worse. It's the Zionists is making it worse on their people. for their agenda, and they don't even care. So they don't care about you other Jewish people, as long as they get their agenda out. Fact. That's what this war is really about. It's the agenda. The Zionists trying to get their agenda. Now we see that it's not always Jewish people, not all Jews can agree with that, but Michael Rapport don't seem to see that. Just maybe somebody in his bloodline could be a Zionist. You ever thought about that? That's why he had the attitude like he do. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at there, but yeah. And there's more truth out there about that. But it make it, the reason why is because other people, and now it's flipped it like the whole world is anti-Semitism. No, it's not. It's you have to look at, yeah, Hamas is doing some horrible things, but you got to look at the other side. What's going on? Did you know at one time Israel attacked America? The same Israel that we give money to. It wasn't. Yeah. Look at, it's out there. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and check out this video. I don't want to get too long. Like and subscribe, but you know, you'd be surprised when you do some research at the library and online, and you find out like, man, are you serious? People coming in the truth, and they don't like it. That's what it is. So, till next time, you guys take care, be blessed. Hope you see you on the next video. Take care.